Hi everybody, welcome to AEP 803. This is for special education candidates, high incident and gifted. I'm going to talk you through what we're going to be doing in our class, kind of get you started this week. So I'm going to open up the course. Here we are, AEP 803, section VH. Hopefully you're kind of familiar with Blackboard. It's good to see a lot of you. I've already had you in class before, so I'm kind of excited about teaching you again. I do want you to know that I have loaded up, you should have seen the syllabus before, but in the start here, syllabus. I have now added the schedule, so you can click on that and you can download this. If you will notice that it is not complete, I still have to add some information here for modules 3, and I already see a mistake, 4, which is qualitative research, and 5, research methodologies. But we're going to get started this coming week on module 2, and I do have what you're going to be working on. All of this is in the Blackboard course. One key thing to note is that the due dates are laid out for the full course, and those dates will not change. So you'll be doing some article analyses here. Many of you have had me before, so you know that most assignments are due Sunday night, with the exception of the last assignment, so please do make note of that. Will be due December 11th. The next thing I'm going to skip down to your assignments. So these folders are now open and available for you. I want you to spend some time now looking at the research proposal. Don't worry so much about article analyses. We're going to talk about that in module 3. But right now, I want you to look at what your research proposal assignment is. Your major assignment in this class is your research proposal. You can click, I've got 2 links for you to click on. The first one is what you're actually going to be doing. This is worth 300 points, but you're going to have ample opportunity to get feedback from me. In fact, in Module 2, you're going to be providing me your problem and purpose, your literature review, your research questions, and addressing threats to validity, limitations, and references. We're not going to do steps 4 and 5 until the very end of the class, because I want to give you some time to learn about quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods. So do spend some time reading through what these are, but don't worry too much about it, because as you'll notice, for example, the problem and purpose statement, I'm going to go back over here to the schedule. You're going to be engaging with readings and activities that actually help you do this. So right here, week 2, the research process, research problems, problem and purpose statements. I'm actually going to give you some activities on how to write a problem purpose statement. Also how to locate peer-reviewed articles, how to annotate them. The next week when you're going to be working on your literature review, again, you're going to be working on guidelines for how to write it, a video on watching how to write it. Same thing with research questions. So that's what's great about this class is it's guiding you how to do this. How am I going to become a researcher? So Module 2 is really focusing on that research proposal. And you'll see all of these are drafts. I've got due dates for your drafts, and that gives me a chance to give you some feedback before the next week when you send the next draft in. We'll talk a little more in depth about that as we get into the course. Here also in your assignment folder, I'm still in the assignment folder, research proposal, you have your links to where you'll submit all of your drafts. And then the last thing I want to show you is I've got the learning modules set up. So you had learning module 1. Now you're going to go into learning module 2. I've got the module learning outcomes. Here's what you're going to be learning by the end of this module. And then I've gotten it broken down into 3 folders, week 2, week 3, week 4. This is just the same cut and paste from your schedule. But I do want you to go through these sequentially. I've actually laid these out for you in the order in which I want you to do the activities, because they build on each other. If you haven't taken my course before, I'm using modules now instead of folders. So there's a couple of ways to navigate these modules. You can click here. So once you've done this particular assigned reading, you can click up here, which takes you to the next one. You can also navigate back. But you can also open up a table of contents to help you navigate through the course. So the course is laid out so that you're going to have some assigned readings. I've got an icon here to show you what it is. Some of them will be links that you click on here, like this one is going to be an article that you download. And And just to let you know, the reason this is taking long to put together is I'm working on developing open educational resources so that you don't have to buy a book. No more expenses. So consequently, all of your readings will be available online, open access. This one is one that you're actually going to launch to open the article to read. I've got an icon for activities. So here's an assigned activity. This is actually, I think this is an infographic on, yes, this is a great infographic on educational research. Some of the activities are another assigned reading. Sometimes you'll have a video to watch, right? So you'll click the link. It's an assigned activity. But all of this is laid out in your schedule. And again, it's laid out in synchronous order for you as well. So I'm kind of excited about this class. This is my cup of tea. This is what I do actually as an educational researcher. And I have given you, I didn't give you the actual articles. If there's an article that I've written that you're interested in wanting to read or access, let me know, because I do have copies of these. And I talk a little bit about my role and the way I think through this in each of the modules that you're going to come across. In particular, this past week, I think you're looking at what is research and what is the scientific process. But when you move into week 2, we talk a little bit about theoretical perspectives, whether or not you engage in research is inductively or deductively. And I do talk in a couple of points. I bring up spots where, and you'll see this in the module, that bring you back to things that I've done as an educational researcher. I don't want you to worry too much about the vocabulary. If you are thinking that you're going to go on and get a doctorate, okay, yeah, dive in. Let's make sure you know what you're talking about. My number one goal for you in this class is for you to become good consumers of research. If you've had me in classes before, you know I guide you to the What Works Clearinghouse. I want you to dive into finding interventions that will work for your students. And so that's what this class is primarily about. I'm going to go back up here to the schedule. Module 2 is about conducting research. It's going to be a broad, general process of research, and this is how you're going to be developing that proposal. Then we're going to move into quantitative research designs. The way I've laid this out is you're going to have 1 week that really talks about the steps involved in quantitative research and what quantitative research analysis looks like. Then we're going to dive into types of quantitative research. We're going to look at experimental research. And your key activity is actually to read a special education research study that is an experimental design. Same thing for correlational, same thing for survey. Then you're going to move into qualitative research. Same thing. I'm going to start out with an overview. What is qualitative research and how do you engage in qualitative analysis? And then we're going to look at the 3 big types, which is grounded theory, ethnography, and narrative inquiry. Then we're going to move over to some other research methodologies, mixed methods, and if you've had me before, you've done action research. And then the last week of the class is your research proposal. I will tell you that the brunt of your reading is going to be happening now in Module 2. When we get into quantitative research design, your first week in it, there's going to be quite a bit of reading, but if you'll notice, there are no assignments because I really want you to dive into learning that process. Same thing down here with qualitative. That first week when we're doing qualitative research, no assignments. You're just diving into the readings and assignments. Then when I jump into types of quantitative or qualitative, I'm going to give you a broad overview article. And then your brunt of that work is going to be analyzing the actual research study that I've put forward that's coming from the field of special education. So when you're done with this class, I'm going to click on the assignment folder, article analysis. You will actually have read 7 different types of research studies that are actually done in the field of special education. Again, we're not going to worry too much about the article analyses. We'll have an opportunity to visit that here coming up in Module 3 and what that's going to look like. So I'm excited again to have you in class. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me an email. Thanks so much.